And welcome back to the final game of the Mainland Cup. It's been an incredible weekend of hockey. Saturday's results were 12-4 and the points to Otago, but after today's game, Canterbury have managed to come back and make their 16-12 in points. And this will be the deciding game. If Otago Senior can win this one, that'll tie everything up. Or if the Canterbury boys manage to get the win, that'll give them their Mainland Cup trophy. So here we have the final game of the senior boys, and I'm sure we're in for a treat. And today I have Tom Cooley joining me in the commentary box, a fellow teammate of mine.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. I hope you're welcome joining us here. It is a lovely overcast day in Otipoti. The harbour is nice and flat as our two teams, Otago and Canterbury, run through their handshakes and head down to the end of the field. It is shaping up to be a wonderful match. Just to elaborate on what Jaden was saying, so it's a 16-12 in the total tournament scores, but I think Canterbury, due to their under-18 girls having some great goal scoring ability, are up about 5 goals on the goal difference. So in order for Otago to really take the whole tournament, they're going to have to get a few good goals here. Jaden, any thoughts on who's going to be their main goal scoring opponents?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point there. I'm sure Otago men here are definitely going to look to continue their great form they had yesterday. I'm sure Dylan Thomas is going to look to get on that scorecard as much as possible. He's a pretty eager man to score. Also got Craig Turner returning for the Otago team today after his exam yesterday, so I'm sure he's going to look to continue some fine form from his club competition and put a few goals in the back of the net. And Caelan Dale's also joining this Otago men's team after an exam yesterday, so I'm sure all these boys are going to look to continue their great momentum from yesterday and really put a few goals in the back of the net of this Canterbury team. And this probably will be most of these guys' last hockey game of the year, except for those few standout players who get the chance to play in the Premier League. And as the fire starting whistle goes, Canterbury on the ball, looks to be attacking very early, but really well read by the Otago player. Charles Darling on the ball, looks to find Jared Casey, but Canterbury reading that really well and winning that free hit on that right hand side. Jared Casey looking to close that overhead down, and he does so very well, but unfortunately that ball just rolling over the sideline and giving Canterbury a free hit. Very great intensity coming from both teams very early on, and Canterbury managed to breach the strike line of Otago and get that transfer. But a missed trap though gives Charles Darling the ball to Nick Parada, and he wins a free hit down the left hand side.
Yeah, some great fast-paced hockey to start us off here as we see Joe Yoon on the ball for the free hit. Some good back-around play to Matt Moore, who hits Geordie on the sideline. They'll be looking to hold this ball at the back, I imagine, to regain a lot of composure as they run these Canterbury strikers ragged. Some good play there as we cut through the strike line, and Joe Yu runs through. Oh, and Canterbury gets a good tackle in there, number 11, playing very well as Canterbury attacks down the sideline. Canterbury, Moss Jackson almost getting the ball down there, but we'll go for a long corner with Canterbury ball. Canterbury has a lot of space on this right hand side, but they are opting to go straight into the circle. Didn't look like it was 5 metres, but they'll get the free hit anyway. Canterbury with the 5, opting again to dribble off a free hit inside the 5 metres. Getting some good movement around the side and down the line before it's intercepted by Dylan Thomas. Back to Canterbury, into the circle with a shot. A nice reverse intercepted that was going on goal as Joe Yoon again runs forward on goal. Hits Geordie Ward, one of the defenders, way up in the strike line, and we get the sideline hit.
Very great intent coming from both teams. A lot of end-to-end action as we see Geordie Ward. He's punched himself up into the midfield line. Zac's dropped out and he finds Matt Moore at the back. It's definitely going to come down to a few clinical mistakes as we saw going back. Oh, Matty Moore just missing the ball, giving a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Alan doing really well to get that. Unfortunately, he missed the ball, and that's a goal to the Canterbury boys. A bit of a mistake at the back. Matty Moore, unfortunately, missing the ball, giving Canterbury boys a chance to counter-attack, getting a one-on-one with the goalie, and unfortunately, I think both the goalkeeper and the player missed the ball, giving Canterbury a free pass and then a free shot at goal. What are your thoughts on that one, Tom?
Well, it's a clear example of the commentator's quick curse here, Jaden. Some good comments on how some big mistakes are going to cost these teams, and one surely appeared there. Some good goalkeeping, actually. Alan making a good first save, but once the ball got around him, it was all over from there. One thing I was going to comment on was I quite like the interchangeability of our backs, of our Otago backs, running into the forward line and vice versa. Like we go there, as the ball gets down to Ethan Booth on the sideline, he gets through about 3 players before being tackled. Jaden?
Great passage of play here from Canterbury. Again, it's a 50-50 game right now, but I think the positions are pretty equal. As Canterbury look to hold the ball around the back, we see a high press coming from the strike line, and Canterbury managed to breach the defence of Otago. Unfortunately, not able to link with one of their players, so we'll go for a free hit for Otago. Matty Moore on the ball. I'm sure he'll be looking to make up for his mistake early on and find a good pass. Looks like we've got 3 at the back for Otago, with Ethan Booth pushing in the middle. Finds a great pass to Dylan Thomas posting up in the middle of the field, and he links up with Jared Casey. Tries to get the one touch off. Doesn't work really well, but some great intent coming from the strike line from Matt Cummins. Unfortunately, just hitting his foot, and Canterbury winning the ball down the left-hand side. Nicely sliced, well read by Charles Darling in the middle. He's going to look to link up with one of his players on the right-hand side, Matt Cummins. Matt Cummins does really well to beat him. Some great skill, puts a great ball in the circle, and that ball's just going to roll over the baseline. But really promising stuff there coming from the Otago team.
Yeah, some good attacking play from Matt Cummins down their right-hand side, as Otago looks to really keep the ball in their attacking 23. Quite a deep press playing, at least 10 metres back from the fullbacks, as they just wait and wait for the ball to go. Quite a nice overhead there, but played into the body by Canterbury. So it'll be Otago ball on their right-hand side. Joe Yoon on the ball. And it goes back to Maxwell Rasmussen, the Rasmusser. Off to Geordie. Bit of an errant pass onto the backhand as they go back again to Raz. And Raz holds it. He's walking up the middle of the field. Some good interchange through the midfield here. Charles Darling on the ball and out to Geordie. Just really Otago looking to hold the ball as much as possible. A great crossfield ball to Joe Yoon. He's in acres of space out on that right-hand side. Ball into the midfield of Callan Dale. Bit of a wet turf and he's missed it as Canterbury's going on goal. And a good tackle there as Callan regains the ball in the mid. And it's off to Geordie, who's also looking to attack down his left-hand side.
Very patient there from Otago, really just looking to hold the ball, waiting for the right time to attack. Midfield's really offering up, and the backs are just opting to hold the ball and waiting for that time to get through to their striker line when possible. As we see here, they've got a free hit just on the right-hand side for Canterbury, opting for the far overhead all the way to a man on the postie, but that's well cleaned up by Otago, who finds Finn Ward on the left-hand side. He gives a nice way to pass to Kalen. A one-touch hockey here. He finds Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas looking to do something. Great skill. He tries to find Charles Darling in the middle, and if you ask me, that's come off the body of a Canterbury player, and they get a free hit at the top of the circle. Charles Darling going to be on the ball. Might look to pass the ball out to Rory McLean on the right. He finds Kalen at the top. Kane gets a PC, a well-worked PC. That's an awful tackle at the top of the circle, I might say, from the Canterbury player. It's all stick and no ball, and that's a great result from the Otago players there.
Yeah, all stick and no ball. You know a lot about that, Jaden Cheeker. So we're just lining up here for an Otago PC. Quite an aggressive setup with only 2 players out back, and then Kalen Dale going out back. We have Finn Ward dragging up, and we have 2 brackets. Our drag flicking exponents look to be Charles Darling and Jordan Ward.
Might look to go to Charles Darling even.
Charles Darling has been practicing his drag flicks for the last 7 years, yet to score one. Now we wait. Great drag flick there by Jordan Ward. Hits a Canterbury player on the line, and it's almost definitely a stroke. Jaden?
See, if they would come up to TMO, I would definitely be offering a stroke on that one. That ball was gone into the goal, but it could have hit his glove, and if it hit his glove, that'd be a PC, I think, or
Glove into body, your thoughts?
glove into body is my thoughts, but it looks like the umpires is going to stick with their decision on a PC. All in all, still a good outcome for the Otago boys. I think this time they definitely be looking to go back to Geordie. As Finn Ward drags out. That's definitely an early break there. You could see that from the top, and you could see that from down below there, as they go for 3 defenders now. He broke because he broke. Yeah. Well, apparently the umpiring is saying that both the dragger and the defender broke at the same time, so the dragger has to go back as well as the defender. but luckily for the Otago boys, they're allowed to replace their dragger. Now we've got Joey Yoon dragging out, and only 3 defenders in for the Canterbury boys. Nice drag from Joey. Geordie trying to pick that up. Unfortunately, the ball just bobbling away from him, and they're opting for a foot, but a 16. I'm not sure about him taking his 16 hit in his mask, but referee letting that one go.
Yeah, a lot of consternation by the Otago team yelling at the ref there. Didn't help them get back and defend their free hit, but they have Maswell Rasmussen winning the free hit at the back there and really holding on the ball. The ball comes out to Joe Yoon on the far right-hand side. And it's good constructive play here from Otago. They're really holding the ball. Canterbury looking to get a much higher press going. Their centre striker really running some hard yards out there. And a lovely weighted ball comes out to the sideline. Hitting one of their strikers actually, Dylan Thomas, running back and entering the midfield space. Now Canterbury running crossfield, Joe Morrison. Joe? Running a great crossfield ball and getting the ball out to the right-hand side for a good crash ball coming into the circle. Some great play by Joe Yoon to intercept that. There was definitely a man behind them, and Otago wins the free hit.
Some great intent there coming out of Canterbury, really looking to switch to play. A nice cross ball coming in, but mopped up by Joey Yoon. Joey Morrison, though, for Canterbury, almost getting on the end of that. Kalen finds Craig Turner in the middle. Craig post up, good control over the ball, looking to beat this player. He may look to recycle, looking for a pass. Good control over the ball, and he drives infield, and he's going to look to pass that out to Raz at the back to take more control over that. Raz at the back looking for a long ball to Rory McLean. Unfortunately not able to trap that one, and mopped up well by the Canterbury defence by Moss, and Moss finds a player, gets the ball back, looks to try and beat a player. He goes, opts for the underpass, and Canterbury unfortunately dribble the ball right over the line. Referee not happy with that stoppage. If you ask me, I'm pretty sure he did stop the ball, but I'm not the referee, unfortunately. Jared Casey taking that, looking to go find Rory McLean in the middle. Does so, but great defence coming out of the Canterbury team. They look to counter-attack on the right-hand side. Good switch of play. Canterbury now on the ball for a good dump out to fellow player. Looks infield now. Tackle coming from Finn Ward. Does really well. Finds Kalen teammate. Kalen looks for that cross ball to Finn, and it's coming really well. What a great pass. Finn's got amples of space. Finds Craig Turner. Free shot at the top of the circle. Craig gets a shot. He pins it. Yes. Hits the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's hit that straight into one of his players and earned a well-deserved PC.
I think the crossfield ball there was what really won them that PC. It was a masterpiece. He couldn't see where he was going and hit that ball, trusting his player to get there. Finding some good space back to Craig Turner at the top of the circle. A bit of hesitation from Craig Turner there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I may have also said he binned that a bit too early, but no, it was a good bit of skill. He had pressure coming in from his right-hand side, so he did really well to get that into his reverse, and it's a great result all in all. So let's see what these can do with this outcome here. Nice accurate drag from Finn Ward. Geordie Ward on the flick, trying to find Finn Ward on the post. He manages to get his stick onto it, but unfortunately that ball just rolled out the baseline. But what a well-worked PC, and I'm sure if they can do that one next time, that ball's ending up in the back of the goal. What don't you think, Tom?
It's good option taking there, Jaden. I really like how they're looking at their PCs and assessing that while they're getting some good flicks off, it's not fully working out for them, and looking to widen that goal by getting a man on the post. They've got the ball back here in the middle of the field as Ethan Booth gets dispossessed and Canterbury's running on goal. Joe Morrison running by himself. He's got the ball on his backhand. It was a very aggressive tackle there from Maxwell Rasmussen. Has given Canterbury a PC from a tackle outside the circle. Sam Doran looking to assert himself early as a ref in this match.
Yeah, what a great run there from Joey Morrison down the middle of the field. Really looking to get a result, and he got a PC out of it. And he did really well to drive that left-hand side, and probably was looking to get a shot off on a traverse if possible. But Raz just getting in the way of that. A bit of a swinging tackle, but it's better than a goal, that's for sure. And Canterbury here with a
opportunity of the game was actually when Canterbury scored their first goal, but this is also another great opportunity. As the stroke taker steps up to the mark, it was quite a well-worked PC in my option. Quite a nice pre-rehearsed move. A nice slower drag out to the dragger for a deflection in as we watch our stroke taker taking his time here. Really looking to bin this stroke.
Oh, that's a really good stroke by the Canterbury player. Bottom left corner. Alan Carson in goal for Otago, looking to fake the stroke taker like he did yesterday, but unable to get his pad onto this one. And that takes the scoreline to 2-0 to the Canterbury senior men's team. As Otago look to go forward if they can, they opt to go back to Matty Moore. Matty Moore finds Raz on the right, put under immediate pressure, but Raz does well to get past him. A wee left to right drag, unfortunately giving the ball straight to a Canterbury player. Canterbury finding a free player in the middle of the field, looking to attack that right hand side, doing so well. All their scrambled defence though coming from Otago. Great tackle from, great interception from Zac Mason. Wee sliding tackle, very clinical from the man. Unfortunately, Canterbury still getting a ball. Opting for a PC, Canterbury, but Sam Duran saying no. Zac Mason on the ball now. Good counter-attacking opportunity. He drives infield, finds Dylan Thomas, his fellow club teammate. Good 3D skills from Dylan Thomas. He takes off. He's going to look for a crash ball. He uses skills though. He's still got possession of the ball, but he's dispossessed by the Canterbury defence. Great opportunity, but Dylan just trying to get past 3 or 4 people, and Canterbury doing really well.
Yeah, that was just that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 too many defenders to take on from Dylan Thomas there, as Canterbury have the ball at the back with a lot of space on the right hand side there, and they give that ball, letting it go out. Smart move as they really attack down this right hand side. They've been quite good down this right hand side, looking to win a PC here on the baseline. They've done some nice aerial dribbling there from Canterbury. The ball's still live. Alan Carson with a good clearance save as Nick Parada's on the ball here, looking to dump the ball out. Some great 3D skills there as Otago again gets dispossessed, and Canterbury's on the ball, winning a free hit.
I think this quarter has definitely got to be all Canterbury at the moment. The ball's really been in their 25 and they've done really well here. They've earned themselves a PC. I'm sure they'll definitely be looking to go 3-0 up on the senior men. They've really come out with some great attend in this first quarter, especially after their performance yesterday. They've come out firing, they've come out the better team, and the scoreline definitely shows that. I'm sure going forward in this game, Otago's going to look to try and relieve a bit of that pressure, get a few goals in the back of that net like they did yesterday, but at the moment it's all Canterbury's game. Do you agree with me there, Tom?
Yeah, you would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in Canterbury's camp last night. They've really come out firing, winning 3 of the 4 games today after really going down day 1. As we see Canterbury senior men's take their penalty corner here. It's a drag flick off the left bracket, hitting a foot and then getting a good reverse shot off for the 16. Another good flick, only just hitting the first runner of Otago's foot. Otago have the ball with Matt Moore on the 16 as Dylan Thomas looks to run up the field back up to the strike line. Ethan Booth on the ball with lots of space. They're not running a very high or intense press there, but they do manage to get the ball back with a nice reverse push variant there as they tackle down the right hand side. Matt Moore, great tackle, gets the ball in the midfield there, with Dylan mopping it up, and they really holding the ball to the back here for Otago. Zac Mason on the ball on the sideline. Some good aerial skills here as we come to Charles Darling. Bit of intent there as Zac Mason's running down the middle of the field. Great tackle there from Canterbury as they're running up the middle of the field. There's a lot of space here for Canterbury.
Very good intent there coming out of the Otago strike line, really making an opportunity. The ball just too far in front of Zac Mason, but great tackle from, unfortunate, it's hit Dylan Thomas's leg. I thought that was all stick, but Sam Duran's seen something different. As we see a high pass coming from the Canterbury player, but well chapped there by the Canterbury half on the left, and they look to just hold the ball at the back. No one really rush to go forward. They find the right half there, who puts the ball into the circle. It's gotten through 2 people, but Matty Moore's managed to clean that one up. Nick Parada on the ball out on the left-hand side. As we go into the final 40 seconds of this first quarter, Otago's going to look to go forward and put everything they've got in this last quarter and try and get a goal in if they can. Matty Moore on the ball. He finds Raz at the back. Raz getting put under the pump by a Canterbury strike. He finds Joey Yoon on the right. Joey Yoon uses a skill to beat him. Looking to beat another play. He finds Ethan Booth in the middle. He's got amples of time and amples of space. And he finds Zac Mason out on the left. Great opportunity. He finds a great ball to Matt Cummins. But Matt Cummins is unable to trap that. A really promising opportunity there in the final seconds of this first quarter.
Yeah, you've really got to trap that, Jaden. It's a good attacking opportunity there. Matt Cummins looking to trap the ball and get on the goal, but he's just getting his hands in front of his feet there, really, and almost gone head over biscuit. Canterbury looking, I would say, to wind out the clock as Otago gets the ball back with Charles Darling in the midfield on goal as we run out our last quarter. Just to touch on what you said a few minutes ago, Jaden, Canterbury's really come out firing. Not just their senior men's team here, up 2-0 as we go into the first quarter, but all four of their teams, really. Especially the under-18 girls, coming back off a 7-1. Oh, that was the senior one? All right, I'll take that back. The senior women's coming off a 7-1 defeat to come back today, the Canterbury women, and win 2-1. All right, Jan. I don't want to get corrected on these things. What are your thoughts on how the Canterbury's really come out today and really played some good hockey and win a few games?
Yeah, it's been some exceptional hockey out here today. Canterbury have really just come out dominant in all four of their games. In fact, the closest being the under-18 boys game, but the Canterbury team managing to come out on top. And this is what looks like a different senior team to what came out yesterday, and Otago just looked to be under the pump for a majority of this quarter. It'd be interesting to see what their game plan is going forward here, and they had a few opportunities. They just haven't managed to capitalise on them. It's going to come down to those little opportunities they get, and they're going to need to put the ball in the back of the net when they get those chances. So we'll see what this quarter upholds. And Regan, if you're watching, I'd also love to see Charlie flick off that second battery. So we'll see what happens.
Are we getting live commentary on this
And where Canterbury start with the ball at the start of the second quarter, and they look to attack again straight away, being 2-0 up. Great tackle from Rory McLean. Unfortunately, that ball just bobbling over the sideline. Again, good intent coming out of the Canterbury strike line, just looking to go forward every opportunity they can get, but that ball just riding over the sideline. So Geordie Ward to take the 16. I've opted for 3 at the back again with Caelan Dale pushing into the middle for Otago. Matty Moore getting the ball. He goes wide to Joey Yoon. Joey Yoon with plenty of time and plenty of space. May look for a line ball, see if the striker can get in front. That's a great ball, and unfortunately the Otago player not able to track that. So Canterbury's going to clean that up, playing some small games here, trying to work that ball out, no winning a free hit. And they've managed to get an overhead that's gotten through 2 or 3 people and picked that up well, driving that baseline on the left hand, but a great tackle from Matty Moore to stop any attacking opportunity.
Yeah, some great defensive work there for Matt Moore as Canterbury's on the ball here, dribbling at the top of the circle. A good disposition there from Caelan Dale, and he wins the free hit as they're attacking through the middle through Dylan Thomas. Doesn't have much support. They're not getting their strikers very high here, are they, Otago? So Canterbury wins the ball. Dylan Thomas puts it out for a free hit to Canterbury. Canterbury also looking to play with 3 at the back, get 2 men in the midfield, and have lots of options at the back. As a great disposition from Finn Ward, and he's running on goal by himself. Great pass to Dylan Thomas, who turns and shoots. Good save by the keeper. Second shot off the post. Some good clinical play there from Dylan Thomas as he nets that second shot off the post.
It's a great team goal there. Great disposition from Finn Ward on Joey Morrison. And Finn Ward could have tried to get the shot, but he's opted to pass to Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas getting the first shot off. Great save by the goalkeeper, but unfortunately that ball just rolled straight back to Dylan. And that's an open goal, and you won't see a man like Dylan Thomas missing something like that. Clinical finish, and he's put the ball in the back of the goal. And that's a really good start from Otago to go a goal in. And so that's 2-1 to Canterbury now. Canterbury just looking to attack straight away again and try and counter that goal that Otago just scored.
Yeah, Canterbury really coming out with a hiss and a roar, both at the start of that first quarter and the second quarter. But Otago getting the goal early on here in the second quarter as Canterbury wins a PC with some good play there, putting it on an Otago foot. Canterbury really looking to attack down that right-hand side once again. They're really favouring their small games in there between their insides and their strikers, and have won a good 4 or 5 PCs just in that very corner. It'd be quite interesting to see them look to get the ball out to a person at the top of the circle or on the opposite side of the circle and get some shots on goal instead of relying on this PC bracket. But they're lining up again here with a double PC bracket. Probably, in my opinion, going to go to the right bracket for a flick. Jaden, your thoughts?
They went to the first bracket, opting for a variation actually. It's worked out really well, but Alan Carson's got his pad on that one to get a good save. Ball just bobbled up, and we'll see Canterbury with a free hit. Some good PC variations coming out of Canterbury all day actually. I've seen some well-worked PCs and they're really working for them and scoring goals. We see a long hit into the circle for a crash ball. Joey Morrison on the ball, trying to get a result. Dylan Thomas cleaned it up, but a free shot at the top of the circle, and that's been buffed by the tall Canterbury striker. Back of the stick is the call from Sam Doran. Bit of pressure there from Canterbury being placed on Otago. Let's see if they can work something out of the 16 with Matty Moore on the ball. Dylan Thomas sinking into the midfield there. He finds Charles Darling on the left, and he's just going to recycle that, a post-up lead. Pressure coming from the striker, though, from Canterbury. And Canterbury's midfield Moss Jackson managing to get a touch on that, but ball just bobbling over the sideline, so free hit to Geordie Ward on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas, who was playing in Otago's strike line in the first quarter, has really moved back to a deeper role there as we see a beautiful cross-kick ball to Jordan Ward to Ethan Booth, and another ball into the circle that goes begging. Probably a reach too far for Craig Turner, who's tries to get a stick on that, and Canterbury have a 16 hit. Canterbury again opting for that back three, quite a shallow back three. And here they go for an overhead. Quite a nice overhead into space. A beautiful touch from Jordan Ward, outstretched in the air, but Canterbury will win the free hit. They go into the circle from here. Another good crossfield ball coming at that 45-degree angle from the top of the circle. Both teams have done that in the last 30 seconds, and they really just need to get their strikers on the end of that ball, trapping it and putting it goalwards.
Yeah, there was some great sight from the Canterbury team there. There was a free play at the top of the circle, but just unfortunate that pass was a bit too far in front of him. Here we've got Raz on the ball, and he's getting put under the pump by 3 strikers from Canterbury, and unfortunately just turning that ball over. Moss Jackson on the ball for Canterbury, but Ethan Booth doing really well to win that ball. Bit of a tussle there, but Jared Casey's coming away with the ball on the right, looking for a short handle hit to Nick Parada. Nick Parada trying to trap that ball, but that's just rolled over the baseline, unfortunately, for a 16. Good promising attack from Otago, really looking to go forward at every opportunity that they have. So we go for a 16 though with Canterbury. They look to go over, if you ask me. Yeah, that's within the 5 metres. Well worked from Nick Parada, and he will win a free hit inside the 25. Not sure why the defender decided to opt for the overhead after he touched the ball, because Nick immediately ran within the 5, but hey, it is what it is.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. They again opt to go out to the back to hold the ball with Raz, and then into the midfield with Ethan Booth. And back out to Raz. Canterbury's looking to run quite a high press, but only with 2 of their strikers, allowing the ball to come out very well. Zac Mason's here on the ball, dribbling through. Canterbury calling for a free hit as they get the ball and immediately pass into space that Otago is commanding. Joe Yoon on the ball with another great 45-degree cross ball to Matt Cummins, who tries to dribble through the player and gets dispossessed. Canterbury running forward on the right-hand side here. Don't have much support here. It's just 3 strikers and an inside. And a Canterbury player gets taken out there, but no play on from the ref is the call as Craig Turner runs through one play. He's running up the field here with Zac Mason, and a brilliant defensive play there from number 17 in Canterbury. Otago on the free hit here, looking with a lot more attacking intent than they had last time. And another good free hit here as the ball comes off Otago, and Canterbury get a free hit right in their defensive corner. Canterbury opting for quite a few overheads out of their defensive 23. Instead, they're looking to fake the overhead as they're attacking on goal here down the baseline. Jordan Ward there, Joe Morrison on the ball, Jordan Ward in defending as he gets a the call there is a free hit to Otago. Joe Morrison gets possessed from a great tackle by Jordan Ward.
Great double tackle there from Raz and Geordie. Good to see their team culture there. Joey Yoon on the ball for Otago. Looks to recycle that out to Raz. And Raz might look to go across to Geordie if he can, or just hold the ball. Finds Ethan Booth in the middle, which is good. Nice pass in the middle, and Ethan Booth just trying to pass it through a player, and luckily winning the free hit. I think this game's definitely going to come down to, you know, those clinical passes. Otago at the moment just making those passes a little bit out of the reach of their players, making it a bit harder to trap. So if they can work on that, it's going to save them a bit of time going forward. Bit of a mishap from Canterbury. Matt Cummins on the ball on the left-hand side, looking to attack. Passes to Jared Casey here on the left-hand pocket. Jared Casey just looking to hold the ball, wait for a pass. Ethan Booth leading to that. Got control over the ball still. Looking to beat Canterbury player, but Canterbury doing really well though. Jared Casey still in there, wins that ball, finds Kalen in the middle. Kalen might look to put a crash ball on the far post. He does so. Craig Turner on the ball, looking for a result. Puts a shot on goal. Goalkeeper saves it, and they're not looking for an easy out. Canterbury on the ball. Only as far as Matt Cummins stick though. Matt Cummins using his 3D skills. That ball too high, unfortunately, and they'll get a free hit. Very good play though from Otago. Good intent to get results in the circle, and very unfortunate to not get a PC, but a shot on goal still counts from Craig Turner.
Some good attacking play from Caden Dale there, hitting the ball on the top of the circle and really looking to get that pass into a circle to someone with a good attacking opportunity. As Otago turn it over again, it was Matt Cummins passing the ball to Craig Turner. He's again on the baseline here, 2 players on him, great defence, but the ball goes over the back line for a 16.
See, now I think there should have been a card for that tackle. There's a big swing and a miss tackle there, but the umpires opt for a play on, and Canterbury win the ball. But we might start to see some cards further on this game if we see a lot more swinging action there.
There has been some good discipline from both teams, really. There's been a few errant tackles leading to PCs, but on the whole, the tackling has been very good. As we see Jordan Ward on the sideline there, opting to go round the back to Raz, who walked through, passing to the midfield to Kalen Dale and back out. More passing into the midfield here. It's good holding of the ball by Otago. Canterbury not opting to run a very high press. They're opting to really hold back off the Otago backs. I think they were running a high press at the start of each quarter, but I think they've recognised that when they do run that high press, they do get the ball sometimes and some good interceptions, but it does leave both the left half and the right half very open for that ball. We saw Joe Yoon on Otago's right-hand side and acres of space. As Otago still holding the ball at the back here with Jordan Ward. Opt for the overhead, down to Matt Cummins, who brings it down nicely. And Canterbury puts it out over the sideline. A good defensive move there as Matt Cummins on the ball. Nick Parada on the ball on the baseline. Canterbury gets the ball again in the very corner, and it's gone out. Nick Parada on the ball again. Off to Matt Cummins. Ball lifted, and Matt Cummins wins the free hit. He's gone 5 metres there, and it's into the circle on Zac Mason. He turns, he reverses, and it's off a Canterbury stick for a long corner on Kalen Dale.
Very great intent there from Otago, taking those free hits nice and quick, trying to catch that Canterbury defence off guard. And let's see if they can create a good opportunity from this long corner here. Kalen just on the ball. And Zac Mason leading forward, Matt Cummins also leading, but we opt for Raz at the back. Raz has got plenty of time. Again, just that passive press coming from the attack Canterbury striker. He finds Kalen with a nice one touch. Zac Mason on the ball, looks for a circle entry. Good circle entry, tries a shot, but saved by the goalkeeper. Again, Otago really coming out firing right now, looking to take these free hits nice and quick. Kalen on the ball, finds Zac again. Zac gets a touch, free ball, Jared Casey on it. Opts for the shot along the baseline, and that goes well wide. But I think that Otago really need to try to act on their opportunities and maybe their shooting angles.
I'd like to see some better option taking the circle from Otago here. That's the 3rd time in as many minutes that they've tried a baseline shot. A great crunching tackle from all 3 of the Canterbury strikers as they get the ball there. And Otago on the ball on the sideline. Charles Darling on the ball. Some good attacking ball here. Canterbury coming. Another sideline hit there. An errant pass from Charles Darling straight into the Canterbury stick. It has worked out for him as he goes back.
Ball to Raz at the back. A bit more of an aggressive press coming from the Canterbury team now. With 5 more minutes to go of the first half. They might look to get another goal ahead of Otago. But still being 1 goal up, I'm sure they're pretty happy just to sit back a little bit. We see some subs being made for Otago, some fresh legs on the field, and a passive press here again from Otago. Now being more aggressive, not letting that ball go back, forcing the ball forward, and a great turnover. Charles Darling on the ball, finds Ethan. Going to look to find Finn out wide. Free Dylan Thomas there, great pass. Dylan Thomas is going to drive the baseline and to see if they can make something from it. Great baseline drive from Dylan Thomas. Opts for the shot, and there should be a PC out of this, and there is. That is a great outcome. Great drive from Dylan Thomas. He opted for the shot. He could have opted for the spot, but all in all, they got the PC. So they can't argue with that one.
Yeah, again, I'd like to see some better option taking from the circle there. Dylan Thomas has scored goals from there before, but when you had two players begging for it on the spot and on the other far post, you've really got to give that pass as Otago lines up here with their two brackets again.
Great save from the postman here for Canterbury. Good flick from Geordie, but saved by the postman. If we go back to the option taking, I think that it's very high risk and high reward for their baseline drives, but it'd be nicer for them to see some lower risk chances to get some goals in the back of the net.
That's a hell of a defensive play from the Canterbury postman there. I've almost seen something like that before in the Premier Men's final. As we get the ball into the circle here, Canterbury getting a nice out there. With the ball in the corner, some good small games here, some good passing to all of their players as Canterbury wins a free hit. Back to what I was saying before about that great defensive effort. I've seen a very similar one in the Premier Men's final. Jaden Chigga, care to comment?
Yeah, there's a bit of a good save from one of the Kings players in the Prem final. May have been a game stopper, but...
It was a great save from Rory McLean, actually, right on the baseline there. Rory McLean is playing for this Otago team. Right after he's almost single-handedly won the game for Kings. Rory McLean there on the ball, actually, at right half, passing to his Kings teammate, Dylan Thomas, as they get the move in the midfield with good attacking go-forward ball. Charles Darling gets dispossessed as Canterbury is holding the ball at the back. They seem to not be spending as much time on the ball as I think their coach would like them to see. But now, with a good pass out to their left half, they look to be trying to regain a bit more composure on the ball.
A bit of a passive press again coming from the Otago strikers as they look to get more aggressive and force Canterbury to make the turnovers rather than making them themselves. And they do so perfectly. An overhead attempt from the left half, just going out the sideline, and Finney Ward's going to take the free hit on the right-hand side. Oh no, Joey Yoon's going to take that, in fact, and he finds Matty Moore at the back. We into the final 2 minutes of the first half. Matty Moore finds Finn out on the right-hand side. A nice one-touch to Joey. Joey cuts infield with some skill, finds Raz on the left, and Raz recycles that back out to Matty Moore. They're really testing the strike line here of the Canterbury, making the move and waiting for that right opportunity to pounce. Matty Moore finding Raz at the back on the left half. Raz using a skill to get through one player. Might use a skill to get through another player or look for a pass, and he does. He finds Charles Darling in the middle. Charles Darling looks for a way to pass forward, but unfortunately no Otago stick on the end of that, and Canterbury look to start their attack on the left-hand side here.
Yeah, some good play there from Maxwell Rasmussen. Really knowing when to beat a player and come around. As our Otago striker gets absolutely done there with a nice pass into the midfield from Canterbury as they work this ball forward. Canterbury inside coming forward and winning the free hit, which they take quickly. Attacking again down that right-hand side, which they've very much favoured in this game. Some good play there, getting past two players, but no one on the end of that pass as Canterbury gets the ball back again and wins the free hit. They've really dominated that right-hand corner of their attacking field, so they go straight into a player, lifted a bit too high and a bit dangerous for Sam Duran, calling the ball for Otago with Matt Moore on the 16. 40 seconds to go here before we enter half-time, with the ball coming to Joe Yoon with a very high press.
Joey trying to get the ball straight down the middle of the field, but unfortunately for Canterbury, that's hit their foot. And Matty Moore on the ball for Otago. He finds Raz on the left, and we enter the final seconds of the game. We get a free hit, for Otago. Raz might look to give that out to Matt Moore, or he might look to go forward for that long pass. He opts to go all the way out to Matt Moore. 20 seconds on the clock. He finds Joey Yoon on the right-hand side. Joey's going to he finds Rory McLean in the middle of the field, actually. Rory opts for that long pass as for Finney. Finney's going to use a skill to drive infield. He finds Charles Darling in the middle of the field. They're looking to go forward. Find Kalen out wide. Unfortunately, just out of his reach. And that's going to end the first half for us. I'm sure Canterbury are going to be very happy with their efforts, being 2-1 up. I'm sure Otago probably won't be as happy as they were yesterday, considering this is a very different game. But what are your thoughts so far, Tom?
Yeah, 2-1 to Canterbury. Some good hockey being played all rounds as we see the Otago swapping keepers and getting a new keeper in, Hamish Van Dyke here. Overall, I think it's been a good game of hockey. I didn't actually manage to catch the last game between these two teams, but I haven't heard that this is 2 games. I think it's actually 4-1, Jaden. Just to correct you there. Without actually knowing the score. I think it's been a really good game. Jaden,
good players as well for Canterbury. Really, it was a good threat at the start of the first quarter. I'm sure he's going to look to carry that attacking momentum on. How about yourself, Tom? Who's been your standout players for both teams?
well, first of all, standout just performance really has to go to the Ball Boys. I'd really like to see them getting down on the goal. Craig Turner and Dylan Thomas. When they score these goals, they really need to get down on their knees, get their tusks out, and really celebrate like a Warthog does. 2-1 down here at Otago at halftime. We'll sub out and bring our coverage back to you at the start of the third quarter. Cheers.
Just before the second half starts, I'm just going to take this opportunity to congratulate Jacinda Ardern on winning another 3-year term as the Prime Minister of New Zealand. But here we are at the start of the second half. Matty Moore on the ball for Otago, finds Charles Darling in the middle. I'm sure Otago are going to look to come out firing and get an equaliser as early as possible. Dylan Thomas on the ball, manages to keep that one in. Uses a skilled, finds Charles Darling in the middle. Good team chemistry from them, being in the same club team. Caelan Dale finding Joey Yoon on the right hand side. Joey Yoon got time, finds a great pass down the line to the Otago striker. Finds Matt Cummins there. Matt Cummins in a bit of a strife, but keeps the ball. Drives the top of the circle, good bit of skill, gets in the circle on the baseline now, looking to pop that ball in, and that ball rolling over the baseline for a long corner. But very good intent though from the strikers.
Otago looking to attack that exact same right hand corner that cost him 2 goals in the first half. Jordan Ward on the ball here as Charles Darling outstretches to get that ball, recovers, and really looking to control the ball there as a long pass back to Matt Moore. They've lost about 20 metres on that pass, and now the ball as Canterbury gets the ball on the sideline and attacks quickly. They're going again taking these free hits quickly. But the ball goes over the baseline for a 16 free hit. Otago with a change in goal here. Hamish van Dijk looking to take over from Allen. An interesting strategy to play with 2 keepers. It allows him to have more field players on the field. And that may be the clincher as we get into the last quarter where everyone's starting to run a bit ragged. A good outlet there from Charles Darling with Jordan Ward on the ball here. Parks the ball into the midfield and outlet it again to Matt Moore. I'd like to see a bit more ball speed from Otago. These balls coming out to the backs need to be hard and fast. Like that ball from Joe Yoon. Another great ball to Matt Cummins as he's running on. He gets blindsided by 2 defenders and wins the free hit. We'll have Caelan Dale on the free hit here, moving it forward.
Very good intent coming from the Otago to start this quarter. Unfortunately, that ball not going the 5 metres before it entered the circle, so Canterbury win the free hit. But at the start of this first quarter, it definitely seems to be Otago's game, really wanting to find that equaliser as early as possible. As we see, they force an error and Canterbury hit that straight over the sideline, and I'm sure Otago are going to be very happy with that, trying to keep the ball in the Canterbury half as much as possible. Jordan Ward on the ball, might look to go back, no, he opts to go forward, trying to find Dylan Thomas in the midfield, and he finds a Canterbury stick. Dylan Thomas with a bit of a shove in the back, and unfortunately he'll be sitting in the bin for 2 minutes, and if I'm right, that's actually Dylan Thomas's first card of the season. Used to be known for his cards, but he really settled down this year. And what could be his last game in Otago, he manages to get a card. Canterbury finding Moss Jackson on the right-hand side. Good wee drive here from Moss, puts a ball in the circle, finds Joey's stick, and it bobbles up into a Canterbury player, and they win a PC. Very end-to-end action, the ball just down the other end for Otago, but Canterbury really making something of a counter-attack, and good result for them, getting a PC.
Some good vocal support from the Canterbury supporters here as they win this PC. Some good attacking play there with Moss getting that ball into the circle with 3 players on him. A bit unlucky for Joe Yoon to deflect that ball off his stick and into his body as Canterbury lines up here for their PC. And it goes to the right bracket. A great PC option, which they've tried in the first half, coming back to the dragger there to go on the goal. A bit more execution needed, just that extra second there. He could have even trapped the ball and put it in the roof of the net. Real pity there for Canterbury.
Big pity, but I'm sure Otago are going to be happy with that outcome. Jordy Ward on the ball, getting put under immense pressure, but puts a great ball forward to Joey Yoon on the right-hand side. He looks to switch to play, finding Ethan Booth in the middle of the field. He looks to find Zac Mason on the left, but well read by Moss Jackson from Canterbury, who gets the intercept, and they start to build an attack on the right-hand side, driving infield. Great pass out wide to probably Canterbury's tallest player. He looks to put a crash ball in, but well too high. Ball has ended up in the back of the goal, but unfortunately that crash ball has come very high. I'm sure the crowd would have been happy with the goal there, but as the referee has said, the ball was too dangerous, and we get a 16 to Jordan Ward. Jordan Ward finds Ethan straight back out, and he looks to hold the ball. No pressure coming from these Canterbury strikers, just happy to sit back and take that 2-goal lead. And Sam Doran not happy with the 5 metres on that overhead. If you ask me, 2 people were running to the ball, but I'm not the referee.
Yeah, as a striker, they always say the best goals are the ones that never get allowed, so a real pity there for Canterbury. They get the ball in the midfield with a dubious free hit, And now another card for, by the looks of, I don't even know who the card's for, so I don't know how the players are going to know. Looks like the Canterbury centre forward is going to be sent off there for a talking back to the ref.
Hitting the ball away, I believe.
Hitting the ball away and maybe talking back to the ref. The ref really cramping down here in the third quarter.
Joey Morrison actually saying it wasn't him, and I don't believe it actually was him, but referee stern on who's getting that card. And now, just as Otago get back to 11 players, Canterbury actually go down to 10 players. So we'll see if Otago can capitalise on this opportunity, being one player up on Canterbury. Canterbury unfortunately not able to capitalise on their opportunity when Otago went down to 10 players. Jordan Ward on the ball, finding Nick Parada down the baseline, manages to get the ball, but unfortunately that bob was up, and free hit to Canterbury. And I'm sure they'll be in no rush to take this free hit as they are a man down. So they'll look to just settle things down, slow the game down, and take their time. But again, a passive press coming from the strike line of Otago, really wanting the mistakes to come from the Canterbury defenders, and they give a nice long ball down the line, but well intercepted, well defended by Joey Yoon, who just pushes the player off the ball. And it looks like Canterbury are going to go to a half-court press here. This is a good, which is good for them for being a player down. It's the right idea, I believe, and they'll look to just really absorb a bit of pressure until they can get back to an 11-man team.
Yeah, Otago holding the ball here, which is really what you want to do when you've got a man advantage. Hold the ball, look to get those 2-on-1s in that overload situation. That's definitely not what you want to do, as Jordan Ward loses ball over sideline for a Canterbury free hit, which is again taken quickly, but well defended by Jordan Ward, making up for his mistake. Out to Rory McLean, the wizard. And then out to Calendar, who looks to shift it to Joe Yoon on the far-hand side. He had a bit of space there to Dylan Thomas, but it got shut down very quickly as Canterbury regains the ball in the midfield and are attacking on goal. They need to get that pass rate quickly, but instead look to pass it down the middle where Raz mops it up at the back there. Some good play from Wiz there as he passes it off to Matt Cummins and back into the midfield, with Raz taking a much more attacking role, and out to Dylan. This is some good transfer of play as we get the ball into the circle. It's that just last pass that's really costing Otago as they get the ball in the circle here, and a lovely bit of play from Nick Parada there as he puts it onto a foot for an Otago PC.
Great switch of play there from the Otago team, really looking to transfer that ball from the left to the right, finding Dylan Thomas with amples of space. The first attempt there was a great tackle from the Canterbury player, but not managing to get that ball past Dylan Thomas as he gets the ball again, and a well-worked baseline drive there to earn a PC, and I'm sure this is a great opportunity for Otago to equalise, and we might be looking for a straight dig here from Jordan Ward. His last PC getting saved on the line by the postman, so we might see a variation or possibly another straight dig from him. Good jag there from Joey Yoon. It's a goal! It's a great PC variation there from the Otago boys. They've got the equaliser. We've opted for the back to the dragger. Joey Yoon getting himself on the scorecard for that one. Nice accurate drag. Jordan Ward gives that straight back to Joey, and Joey puts that in the goal.
Yeah, it's really good to see Otago capitalising on their one-man advantage there. Scores go to 2-2, so it's really shaping up to be a cracker here as we head into the dying minutes of the third quarter. Otago intercepting the ball there, playing with a bit more fire in their bellies now that it's only 2-2. Dylan Thomas on the ball, driving the baseline, looking for another PC, bit of stick dribbling, and he does not win the PC. The call there was shielding. A bit of obstruction from Dylan Thomas. Usually moving his feet there will allow him to avoid that call, but him and Sam Dawes, he's never going to win that call. Canterbury getting some great play, some great transfers. They get it to the other side of the field there and back through the midfield. Otago looking a bit haphazard there. Need to be marking their men as the ball comes out to the centre back of the Canterbury team.
Canterbury just patient, looking to build an attack when they can. They've gone for 4 at the back at the moment as one of the defenders drops out. Go for a one-touch attempt here, but well cleaned up by Ethan. Won the free hit, but the refs play on as Otago keep possession of the ball. Finds Charles Darling in the middle, unable to control that ball. So Canterbury players managed to mop that up. Moss Jackson on the ball, great bit of skill in the middle. Beats one player, beats 2 players, beats 3 players in fact. Gets a shot off and saved by the goalkeeper. I'm not sure if that was going goalwards, but that was exceptional play there from Moss Jackson from Canterbury. Unlucky to not get a goal from that, but all in all, he got a goal. Referee not happy with the 5, pretty stern whistle there. And the Canterbury guys going for a bit of a variation, leave the ball, we recycle the ball out, and they've gone back to 3 at the back. Good baseline drive there, a great tackle from Nick Prada, bit of a right hand overload coming from the Canterbury boys. They've definitely come out firing in the last few minutes, so we'll see if they can capitalise on that. 4 at the back again for Canterbury. They look to transfer that to the left half. He does, he gets the ball, he looks to go back out, and we see a bit of pressure coming from the Otago strikers, but not too much, while they hold it 4 at the back. Good defence here from Otago, man-to-man marking, and Canterbury just happy to hold the ball at the back.
Yeah, Canterbury really attacking well down this left-hand side here. As Otago gets the ball and puts it over the sideline. Canterbury having definitely an extra man on their right-hand side there if they transfer it across. Definitely more communication needed by Otago. They've got 2 men marking the ball, and that's gone straight into the circle. It was an ambitious plan, but it's landed about 1 inch inside the circle, calling it to be a free hit for Otago. Canterbury with some really good attacking play there. Just some interesting rules interpretation here with Matt Moore on the ball. Canterbury really getting some good attacking intent there. Again, trying to attack down that right-hand side quite often. As Finn Ward with some spectacular aerial dribbles and an even nicer crossfield pass gets to Maxwell Rasmussen with numbers to burn. And the ball hits a nice deflection off a Canterbury stick with a long corner for Otago.
Can we just roll back to what Finn Ward just did? It's an exceptional 3D skills. He's put a man right on his ass, and there's no coming back from that one, that's for sure. And I'm sure when we watch the replay of that, Finn's going to be very happy with his efforts. As Raz has the ball on the right-hand side, he looks to recycle that out to Matt Moore. Otago sticking with 3 at the back, 2 double centre halves in the middle. Finds Jordan Ward out wide. Jordan might look to give that back to Matt Moore. Under a bit of pressure from the Canterbury strikers. Matt Moore on the ball now. Canterbury striker running straight at him, but he finds Charles Darling in the middle of the field. Charles punching on the left-hand side. Might like to pass the ball out to Geordie or find Zac Mason in the field. Zac Mason on the ball now. Gives that back out to Matty Moore. Ample of time here. Otago doing really well just to hold the ball and looking for that right opportunity to pounce. Good post-ups coming from the midfield here, but no pressure coming from the strikers from Canterbury. So Matty Moore just happy to hold on to that ball, waiting for that opportunity to go forward. And again, Matty Moore just holding that in the middle, finds Jordan on the left. Bit of a bobbly pass, but Jordan traps that quite well. And the striker line starting to creep up a bit, but nothing too intense for the defenders of Otago. Finds Finn Ward. Finn Ward puts a great ball in, but intercepted by the Cantabrian defence, and they start to work it out.
Some great constructive play here as Canterbury gets a nice ball down to the side with a striker very high pressed, but with no one to support him. So Otago gets that ball out to Finn Ward with a crunching tackle from Canterbury. Refs not calling it, just a free hit for Otago. Some good constructive play from Otago, really holding that ball around the back before they got that ball out to Finn Ward for a nice weighted ball into the circle. As Raz passes the ball up the field, which gets intercepted by a Canterbury player, who gives the ball into the middle of the field. It's a 2-on-1 here. We got the ball in the circle with Canterbury. Got no one to help him. And some good play from Otago there, really keeping their heads cool in the circle with Finn Ward. Charles Darling on the ball, giving the ball back to Finn Ward. That man is everywhere as they give that ball into the middle of the field to Zac Mason. Zac Mason with a good run. Could give it back to Finn Ward, but he goes for a pass to the top of the circle to Craig. Craig spins. He's got the ball still on the top of the circle. He's got men inside the circle if he can see them. But he gives that ball away for a sideline hit.
Well worked play there by the Otago boys. Again, it's end-to-end action. The Canterbury boys just having an opportunity before, but passing it straight to Finn. And that's an overhead from Canterbury straight to 2 people in congestion, and the defence win that on the 5-metre roll. Jared Casey on the ball with a great roll now on the right-hand side. Looks to pop the ball and wins a free hit. Look to take it quickly, but he decides to slow it down and take his time. He looks to dribble, go that 5 metres and pops that ball into the circle, and a touch off the Canterbury goalie, I believe, for a long corner. And the ball's really been down this end for the last minute, and we'll see if Otago can keep it down there, get a good opportunity and put a ball in the back of the net. And we've got Charles Darling on the ball, gives it to Joey Yoon out wide. Joey Yoon going for that one touch, but unfortunately that ball bobbling over the sideline and not making it to Matt Cummins. I think just need to be a bit more clinical, especially in the last 2 minutes of this quarter. Don't want to be making any silly mistakes that end up in goals for either team.
Yeah, both teams really relying on that one-touch pass in the attacking 23. As Canterbury gets a nice ball out here, Intercepted well by Maxwell Rasmussen and cleaned up for a sideline hit, which Canterbury again looks to take quickly. Moss Jackson on the ball, again going for an overhead into the circle. It's a good move, hits an Otago foot, but the ref says play on, no effect on the match, and Otago wins the ball back. A very aggressive attacking option there with a 10-metre overhead into the attacking circle. It's that sort of play and that sort of hockey brain that puts them in the New Zealand setup. Jaden, your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. Moss has been all over the field. I think two standout players from both teams right now definitely have to be Moss and Finn Ward, both good players, both on the New Zealand scene, and let's see what both these two can bring to their team. Caelan Dow on the ball getting crunched, but managing to find a pass to Jared Casey to Joey Yoon. Joey Yoon finding Matt Moore at the back. Again, just a passive press coming from the Canterbury strike line. Just happy to sit back. We enter the final minute of the third quarter. Joey Yoon just opting to go nice and easy to Matt Moore at the back. Matt Moore looking for a long pass here. Finds Caelan in the middle, but a touch from a Canterbury player, putting that out of his reach. Canterbury finding a player in the middle of the field, looking to start their attack. Joey Yoon reading it well. Unfortunately not controlling the ball, but Craig Turner coming back and managed to get the ball. But the referee saw a foot, I believe, and gets a free hit. They look to take it easy, find a free player on the right-hand side, look to attack, left-hand side, look to attack that. Good bit of skill, he gets through everyone. A whistle has gone and a shot been taken. Fortunately, no one heard that whistle. But some great skill from the Canterbury player to beat two defenders. He looks to do the same thing again. Just reach the top of the circle, opts to go in the air. Good control over the ball, but great defence from Raz. No foul there. He's opting for a foot, but definitely all stick from Raz. And the ball goes out.
Some great absorption of pressure there from Otago as we enter into the real last 8 seconds of the final quarter. Canterbury having the ball at the back here, very content to hold the ball out, recharge those batteries, and then come out firing in the fourth quarter. A great quarter there. A good goal, a couple of cards with the refs really enforcing their mark on the game. And we finally have a game, even Stevens, coming into the last quarter. It's going to be a very good last quarter here. Some good goals scored in both of the last quarters of the previous games today.
Exceptional three quarters of hockey so far, and we'll see what the fourth quarter brings in the last game of the Mainland Cup. Now we enter into the final quarter of the seniors game. Scores all tied 2-2. Anyone's game. Dylan Thomas to start. And we go all the way back to Joey Yoon on the right-hand side. Finds Matty Moore at the back. Matty Moore, plenty of time on the ball. Finds Caelan for a post-up and straight back out. Again, a passive press from the Canterbury strikers. They may look to hold that the whole quarter or look to change things up. Matty Moore's got plenty of time on the ball here. Finds Joey Yoon out on the right side. Joey fighting Caelan, and Caelan looking to roll out. But Joey Morrison putting some great pressure on him. Caelan doing really well to win that free hit. Takes that really quickly. People complaining not on the mark, but it definitely was on the mark if you ask me. Canterbury turnover though, and win a free hit.
Yeah, Canterbury coming out with some good attacking intent here in this first quarter. So they get the ball on the top of the circle, taken by Ethan Booth, and Otago have the ball coming up the middle of the field. Canterbury running a relatively high press with a lot of pressure coming into the centre half and the midfield for Otago. As they get the ball on their right hand side with acres of space here. Nice bit of skill from Canterbury with a nice 45-degree ball coming in. Someone's running in and a foot comes there from Caelan Dale, who's complaining that it hit him in the knee when he kicked it. So a free hit there for Canterbury. Moss on the ball, lots of space on their right hand side, but they look to go back. Good option here from Canterbury, really preserving their time on the ball. They get the ball in. Canterbury again going for that one touch to get the ball inside the circle. They've got the ball attacking on goal again. Here he goes. And we're going for it. Some great option taking there from Canterbury. They get the ball back to the spot. It comes off a Canterbury player, off an Otago player, and into the roof of the net. Jaden, your thoughts on that goal?
A really well-worked goal there from Canterbury. They had a lot of attacking opportunity there, winning free hit after free hit, and a great baseline drive there from Moss. May have even been looking to put that in the back of the net himself, but opting to pass that off to a teammate. And the ball just ended up in the roof of the goal. That's an exceptional goal from Canterbury, great team goal. As Ethan Booth looks to beat a player in the middle, looks to beat another one, and fortunately that just hitting his foot, and a free hit to Canterbury in the middle of the field. And they look to take that earlier. Big swinging tackle from Dylan Thomas. It may see him sitting in the bin again as Canterbury look to continue to take a big hit coming from Joey Morrison to a free play at the top of the circle. A swing and a miss. And I think Dylan Thomas is going to be sitting in the bin for his, a green card for Dylan Thomas, which takes hit down to 10 players. Them asking about the swing and the miss, and if you ask me, that is definitely a dangerous swing and the miss, but the referee said there's no one near him, so we'll go for a PC to Canterbury. Unfortunately, that hitting Matt Cummins' foot. And if we go back to that card, as I was saying, Dylan Thomas has probably not had any cards all season, but in the space of one game he's managed to get himself 2 green cards, which I'm sure he won't be too happy about. As the Otago defence set up, we've got a double battery for Canterbury. Good accurate drag to the first battery. Good save by Jordan Ward. One-handed save. Unfortunately going for another PC. And being called dangerous, I think, or pushing. But great PCD there from the Otago boys. Another accurate drag. Straight down the middle, but saved by Hamish. Good PCD, big wind up. Back of the stick if you ask me, but apparently not according to the referee. Saved by Hamish, padded out for a long corner. Canterbury looking to take that nice and quick while they still have that advantage. A big swing, he's kept the ball in. No danger there, and Hamish manages to get that out. Finn Ward running back and gets the ball. Caelan Dale's going to get a touch on that, and the ball's kept in by Canterbury. Referee says that's in. Otago didn't think it was, and they start to build an attack here in the middle of the field. Scrambling defence from Otago still. They find a wide free player out on the left-hand side, looking to build. Finds a free player where that ball just dribbles over the back of the baseline. What are your thoughts on that passage though, Tom?
Yeah, some good attacking play, but some great goalkeeping there from Hamish van Dijk. A few saves deflected off his own players that he managed to clear, and some good defensive play there. Canterbury really winning some PCs and getting some good attacking play on goal. Otago really not looking as good as they did at the end of the quarter. If they give the ball away, there was a 4-on-2 here. Canterbury getting a shot on goal here. Some good play, getting a foot. And then a great goal line save from Jordan Ward as he dives and saves that ball as Otago win the free hit. That's the sort of intensity that we need from Jordan Ward and the Otago team here.
I was adamant that ball was gone. It had beaten near run, bobbled off Joey Yoon's stick, and Jordan Ward just coming out of nowhere, sliding in and stopping that on the goal line. You can't ask for much more from that man. Exceptional play, and that's definitely why that man is a New Zealand player. As Otago look to build an attack on that left-hand side, Finn Ward on the ball, getting crunched though by a Canterbury player. Big swinging tackle, but referee said that's fine. Finn Ward earned the right to get that back in, but Sam Doran going against Finn Ward. Not sure about the reffing style on this ref on the left. He's definitely missing a few swing and a misses. Seems like he might be against Otago, if you ask me.
The refs are both doing a great job, is what Jaden meant to say. Some very sloppy play there from Otago, really getting the ball out from the back and handing it straight to a Canterbury attack. They really are not doing themselves any favour about getting themselves out from underneath all this attacking pressure that Canterbury has built up. As they get another ball through the midfield, another great pass out to the to their left half. Ball's coming in there. 2 Otago defenders, but Canterbury comes out with the ball. They have a shot on goal here. They keep looking for these PCs, and they've got the ball at the top of the circle. Another shot off a Otago stick for a long corner. Again, some good attacking play there from Canterbury.
May not have saw, but the ball just bowled up into the crowd, and the Canterbury under-18 boys unable to catch that one. A bit of fumbles. But here we are, the big crash ball coming in from the Otago team. Danger from the Canterbury player, and we'll go for a free hit to Otago on the right-hand side. Ethan Booth on the ball. May look to go forward or may look for Rads at the back. Opts for the overhead over. Finn Ward trying to get on the end of that, but knocked away by the Canterbury defender. And Joey Yoon on the ball on the right-hand side as we look to create an attacking opportunity. Raz here, open free at the back. Joey uses Raz at the back. Plenty of time here, no pressure. Looks for Jordan Ward on the left-hand channel there. He might look to pass that back out to Raz. He does so. Raz might creep forward with that again. No pressure coming from the strikers of the Canterbury team. Finds Charles Darling there for a post-up. Straight back to Raz. Really trying to test the strike line of the Canterbury team. And Raz punches forward here, trying to find a pass. Finds Ethan Booth, who goes for the one-touch, but no one's running onto that one.
Again, really relying on that one touch there. Canterbury very happy to let Otago rip the ball around the back and give that ball away like they did just there, just looking to preserve their 3-2 lead. Canterbury looking with a bit more attacking intent than Otago did, coming down the sideline here. Another sweeping tackle there, but he's got the ball and Otago's running up the right side of the field here. Again, tacking down that right-hand side. Another very aggressive tackle there from Canterbury with Dylan Thomas on the ball. And a push in the back there for Dylan Thomas. Only wins him a free hit. He'll be looking for something more than that as he's on the ball just outside the circle. Sam Doran telling him where the free hit is to be taken. Canterbury pressing him in the attacking corner as he passes it back out, with Canterbury not being 5 metres on that free hit and being called for a PC. That's the second time they've done that, so Sam Doran really enforcing himself there and calling a free hit for that 5 metre violation. Otago really need another good PC goal here to get back into level terms with 8 minutes to go in this match.
Lovely call there from Sam Doran, definitely a well-deserved PC, and we'll see if they can make anything from this. A double battery again with Jordan Ward on battery 1 and what looks to be Zac Mason on battery 2. So it'll be interesting to see if this goes to Zac Mason, although I think it will definitely go to Jordan Ward. That it does. Jordan Ward at the top of the circle, tries to go for the deflection there, gets a shot on goal, saved by the goalkeeper, and will go for another PC. Good variation option there, looking for Zac Mason running into the spot for the deflection. But well cut off by the defenders of the Canterbury PCD team. Jordan Ward and Zac Mason at the top again. Drags to battery 1 to Jordan Ward. He goes for the inside post, and that is saved by the Canterbury goalie, I believe, and we'll go for a long corner. Dylan Thomas on the ball. And Canterbury not being 5, so Dylan opts to take that nice and quickly. Good bit of skill, trying to find Zac Mason there. He does so. Zac Mason really strong on the ball, looking for a PC. Gets crunched on the baseline, but still holds possession of the ball, so we go for a long corner on the left. Jordan Ward on the ball. Might look to find Raz here at the back, does so. Joey Yoon's wide open on the right-hand side. Good sight from the man Raz. He finds Joey Yoon in there. Joey's looking to beat a player, but a good tackle from the Canterbury team. Might look to recycle this, so he keeps dribbling infield, trying to beat players. Passes the ball off, but unfortunately only as far as a Canterbury stick. And Canterbury going to look to relieve a bit of pressure, and they do so by heading this out, and unfortunately copping the leg of Finn Ward.
Yeah, it was a good crossfield dribble there from Joe Yoon, and then when he got dispossessed, some good intensity to get the ball back and go again. Canterbury having a good defensive effort there and getting the ball out there as they look to transfer the ball through the midfield, and again looking to get that ball straight up the field with another crunching tackle from Canterbury as they get dispossessed, and Otago's running on the ball with Matt Cummins off to Dylan Thomas, and a nice ball there to Craig Turner as he's attacking down the baseline, gets the ball across the field of the goal, and here's Charles Darling with a great deflection. Charles Darling into Nick Parada into the bottom corner of the goal. Charles Darling, complaining that he hasn't scored a goal all season, has been absolutely robbed of a goal there by Nick Parada, but I'm sure he's just as happy as everyone else that Otago is 3-all with 6 minutes to go.
What a beautiful goal. I don't even know if Nick threw the ball that was there, but he got a stick on it and the ball ended up in the back of the goal. Good scramble work from the strikers of the Otago team, and they've managed to score an equaliser. It's anyone's game now, and we'll see both teams probably leaving it all on the park. 100% intensity from them both. An unfortunate mistrap there from Rory McLean, giving Canterbury a free hit just in front of halfway on their right hand side, opting for the overhead, but Rory McLean knocking that one over the sideline, not letting that get to a Canterbury stick as they get a free hit just outside the 25. Again on that right hand side, looking for an infield pass, and they might look for a big crash ball here, or we look for a dribble, and he tries to pass it to his teammate, but a little bit too far in front of him, and it goes for a free hit to Otago on the left hand side. I think both teams have got to look to be really clinical in the last 5 minutes. Any little mistake can make the difference of this game. Going to need to be stick-to-stick passing coming from both teams. A good press from a one-man press here from the Otago team. And Jordan Ward's unfortunately giving it straight to him, but he can't trap that one, and it's gone over the baseline, and we'll go for a 16. Again, another one-man press by the looks of things. Opting for the ball to go left, not wanting the ball to come back, and giving them all the space on the left and no space to transfer that ball right, which is a pretty good press from the Canterbury team. Joey Morrison giving Charlie Starling a bit of grief. Matty Moore dribbling forward and finding Raz on the right-hand side, which is good. Plenty of space on the right-hand side. Raz drives that right hand, looking for a pass infield, finds Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas opens up, twitches the play to left, finds Charles Darling. Charles Darling looks for Jordan Ward on the left-hand side. Might look for that long ball, or we look for a transfer again, but a Canterbury stick getting in the way of that. Joey Morrison finding a nice pass, looks for that left side. Great tackle from Matty Moore. Joey Morrison back on that ball, bit of skill. What's he going to do? Joey Morrison versus Raz. Great tackle from Raz, nice flat stick. Ball still in, and Joey recycles that all the way out, and we go for a crash ball down the middle, cleaned up by Matty Moore though, and then Matt Cummins on the ball now. What's he going to do? He's driving the right, pops that ball to an Otago striker who looks to counter-attack on the right. He needs support. He finds Kalen, but a good diving save from the Canterbury defender, and we start the counter-attack on the right. Manages to beat one player, manages to beat two. Great opportunity, he's going to hit this, and a great save by Hamish. Going goal was... No, oh! Great shot from Joey Morrison on the fly, and unfortunately it's gone just wide. Oh, great save by Hamish. Great power and great intent in that shot. Oh...
Two great shots there from two of Canterbury's best performers today as they win that free hit again. They're really searching after the second goal here as a mistrap on the top of the circle leads to an Otago free hit in their defensive corner. There's some great attacking intent there from Canterbury. It's really end-to-end hockey there. Both of those attacks, both from Otago and Canterbury, were from interceptions in the midfield, and this endless end-to-end hockey is really going to be exhausting both of these teams. As we enter the last 3 minutes, Kalen Dale's on the ball, running down the left-hand side. He's still looking to recycle that ball as it gets to Dylan Thomas in the midfield, and a bit of a fumble there from Dylan Thomas, but he regains it, and Maxwell Rasmussen's on the ball on the right-hand side. He again looks to keep a cool head and keep the ball on the end of his stick, and now the ball's with Dylan Thomas as they come all the way out to Matt Moore.
Jordan Ward on the ball. 3 minutes to go in this game. He finds Charles Darling on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, unable to trap that one. Ball bobbling over the sideline. Joey Morrison trying to take that nice and quickly, but referee not happy with that, and it will be a free hit to Otago on the left-hand side. Jordan Ward on the ball. A 11-man defence by the looks of things for Canterbury. Not wanting to let a goal in the last two minutes of this game. A turnover though, an unfortunate turnover. Jordan Ward hitting it straight to a Canterbury stick, opting to go left. Jordan Ward reaching out for that, but luckily for him that ball doesn't get to the Cantabrian stick, and Jordan Ward will get a free hit on the left hand side here. As we look, we might be going to 4 at the back here for Otago. Finney Ward dropping back out to relieve a bit of pressure on this outlet and see what we can do here. Finney Ward actually pressing forward now, dropping to 3 at the back. Nice long ball, post up from Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas, good control of the ball, and he wraps around, finds Raz on the right-hand side. Raz probably looking for Kalen down the line. He does so. Kalen's got the ball in the right pocket, puts the ball on the circle, but is only as far as a Canterbury stick, and they managed to get that out. Actually managed to get that out to one of their own sticks. Attacking opportunity here for Canterbury on the left-hand side. Finn getting his feet in the way of that, and stopping an attacking opportunity, but then taking it really quickly. In the last minute and a half of this game, it's very end-to-end action. Matt Cummins putting his body on the line, getting that ball. Very good dive. And unfortunately, Finn Ward is getting a yellow card. Doran saying that it was a purposeful foot, which means that Otago is going to finish this game with 10 players. So let's see if Canterbury can capitalise on that opportunity, being one player up and a 3-all draw currently.
Canterbury going to hold the ball around the back here, I imagine, for the rest of this game. They'll really look to get at least one good attacking opportunity as they come to the right-hand side here with numbers to burn. A good tackle there from Dylan Thomas, but he loses the free hit. The ball's going to come back out for Canterbury as they again look to hold this ball around the back. Transfer to the right-hand side. Charles Darling, mistrap there. Canterbury running on goal. Ball coming into the circle here. Ball, great tackle from Craig Turner there. Wins the foot with 43 seconds left on the clock. Jordan Ward having a lot of time on the ball here as he overheads it way out of bounds.
He's actually managed to overhead that onto the other turf. A big hook there. And thankfully we have ball boys, so it's quick to get a ball back onto the turf as Canterbury look to attack on their right hand side. 20 seconds left in this game. Again, Canterbury one player up with an Otago player sitting on the bench. Finds a free play at the top of the circle though. Ball in the circle here, and he manages to get a PC. Canterbury are going to finish this game off with a PC. Great attacking intent there from Canterbury. Really a bit of sloppy ball into the circle, but Canterbury getting a stick on it and putting it into the body of a Otago player. So Canterbury have the chance to win here, or can Otago keep this out and take the game to a shootout? A full man attacking penalty corner option here for Canterbury. As that ends the game, they will have 10 players surrounding the circle, not letting that ball out. And we have Otago getting ready. Good accurate drag to the first battery, opting for the back to the dragger, but well cleared by Raz. Ball still in the circle, and Kalen coming in from the halfway to clear that, and that will take us to a 3-all draw for the senior men's game. I believe that means we may or may not be going to a shootout. I guess we will find out, but that does give the Cantabrians the Mainland Cup. A draw was enough to give them 18 points, I believe, or if they win the shootout, or 17 points if they lose the shootout. And I don't know if there is a shootout or not.
We'll keep you on the line as we determine whether or not the game is going to go to shootouts. Jaden, a great game of hockey there to culminate a great weekend of hockey, really, between Canterbury and Otago. You'd really hope to see this becoming a regular fixture, especially with all the changes that is happening currently with the Otago, with the national competition structure, spearheaded actually by Otago's own Regan Bain. He's been working very hard this year on all of the 2 competitions that Hockey New Zealand has to run, and just a shout out to him. I'd love to see this competition continue. Thoughts on this game, Jad? It's been really good. We've played some good hockey.
Yeah, lovely game there to watch today from the senior men. Canterbury really came out firing in all different games today compared to what they showed us yesterday. And we have confirmed that thanks to Dodds, we are going to shootouts. Unfortunately though, for Otago, a shootout win is not going to be enough to secure the Mainland Cup. So congratulations to the Canterbury team for coming down and securing that Mainland Cup for the first year. I'm sure Otago are going to look to hopefully take that back next year, given the opportunity arises again. So we'll see what the shootout team is going to be for each team, whether that's 5 or 3 shootouts, I'm not sure, but we'll keep you updated. As we head into shootouts, we can confirm it's going to be 5 shootout takers from each team. For those of you who don't know what a shootout is, it's a one-on-one attempt with the goalie and a striker from the opposition team. They have 8 seconds to do what they can to put the ball in the back of the net, and whoever gets the most out of 5 will win it. And if we draw by 5, we will go to sudden death shootouts. It looks like Canterbury are going to be starting here with Moss Jackson taking the first one. He gets Hamish Van Dyke. He'll have 8 seconds to put the ball in the back of the goal. And so here we go. And a great goal there by Moss Jackson, a one-turn against Hamish Van Dyke, and he's managed to put that in the back of the goal. Next up we have Jordan Ward for Otago, and taking one against the Canterbury goalie.
And a great goal there from Jordan Ward to put the teams level after one shootout apiece. A good spin move, both favouring turning their back to the goalkeeper, spinning them and putting the Canterbury goalkeeper on absolute skates there. Had no idea what was going on. As we see our second Canterbury shootout taker.
Another great shootout there, opting for another turn around the goalie. That's 3 in a row. That takes the score to 2-1 to Canterbury. And now we have Matt Cummins for Otago. You can also hear the referee on the sideline trying to hurry them up a little bit, trying to get home in time for the All Blacks game. But here we have Matt Cummins.
Cummins pulling the ball onto the reverse and lifting it over the goalkeeper's stick for another great goal to send it to 2-2 after 2 shootouts. A really good goal there from Cummins. Very clinical under pressure as we see the next Canterbury shootout taker come up to the line, Joe Morrison.
And a great save there by Hamish Van Dyke. Joey Morrison trying to do a wee spinny action there, but unfortunately not able to control the ball and it just popping over his stick. And that takes the score line to 2-2. But Dylan Thomas... No, 2-2. If he gets this. Oh! Exceptional skill there from Dylan Thomas. Unfortunately, he's hit the post. So that's 2 misses in a row, which takes that scoreline to 2-2. 2 good shootout takers there, 2 New Zealand players, but both unable to put the ball on the back of the goal.
A great glove save by Hamish Van Dyke. Caught him a bit of unawares when the Canterbury player binned it with half a second to go on his second shot. Some good awareness there from the Canterbury player to never stop fighting until that 8-second whistle goes. Zac Mason here for Otago.
Zac Mason looking to put that on his reverse and unfortunately putting that one wide, not giving himself too much options when he gets towards the baseline, only being able to roll or put that on his reverse on not a great angle. Good work from the goalkeeper though, and next up we have Canterbury.
And the ball goes under Hamish van Dijk for the last goal of the Mainland Cup. Canterbury up there 4-2, so no need for the last two penalty takers to take their shootouts. Some great shootouts being seen there. A good conversion rate from both teams, with Canterbury taking out on the day and getting that extra 2 points for the Mainland Cup. I'm going to sign off here. Some great hockey has been played. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Dom. Thanks for commentating me for the seniors game. It's been exceptional hockey here in Otago the last weekend. Again, congratulations to Canterbury for taking out the Mainland Cup. It's been a pleasure commentating your hockey this weekend, and up the All Blacks for their game today. Let's see if they can get a good W for us. Thank you.